Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new YouthFires series where we discuss with couples. It's called Christian Couples on the Couch, and we will be discussing with them, what's it like being, believers in Jesus Christ, married in this time, in this season. It'll be an interesting series, so I do hope you enjoy it, okay? And hello, everybody, one and all. It is Pastor Jesse here, and welcome to the latest episode of YouthFires. We are once again in the Christian couples having conversations on the couch with me. I think that's how the title goes. We're still trying to figure it out. But today I have with me some special guests. It's Brandon and Rachel. How are you guys going?
Okay, I'm fine.
You're great? You're fine? Glad to have you guys on. So, what we're going to do today, we're just going to have a conversation with them. We're going to flow and, just hear from them what's it like being a young couple in today's world. So let's just start off, guys. You guys' story is kind of special in that is, for me, it's like one of those stories that you see on those movies, long ago, where you guys come from school, school sweethearts, and then you come up and then you're way out today. So just give me that story of, how you guys met and then, and then you fast forward into today.
You want to go first? No, you go first.
Oh my goodness. So, we met, it was like second week in school. Well, I went to a different school from her. So where we used to travel, it would have been the same place on the grandstand. Mm-hmm. So one day I saw this beautiful lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was at the top of the lights, and I was a little midway, and I was looking her direction. And when she looked at my direction, I would turn my face. I was a bit shy. I was nervous. Mm-hmm. And that went on for a good while, probably months. And one day, finally, she came up to me and asked me my name. That's these days, huh? Yes. Yes. She came up to me and asked me my name. From then, we started to talk a little bit, wasn't much, because I knew I was going to other school far away from her. So it was like the last week in the term, and that only day when I saw her, I was like, this might be a goodbye. So I wrote my information on a piece of paper and stuff to give her so she could keep. So if she want to contact me, wherever she could have. But apparently the person who I give it to, it never reached her. So that's how we first met.
And wait. So just from my understanding, what age was this? What age were you guys when this happened?
That was Form 1. Like the first time we saw each other was Form 1.
Wow.
So I was like 12 going on 13.
Wow.
And you would be 13, 14.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's crazy. So wait, Rachel, come, let me hear from your side.
Well, my side, looking back now, I would say he was stalking me. Because he was a complete stranger. Like, we never met before. Someone was just on the stand, just staring at you all the time. And every time you look at their direction, they would look away. So, like, it was kind of weird. But at the same time, I was like, he's so cute. But, as a female, I wouldn't want to, like, push anything. And we were young at the time as well. So, for me, when I first saw him, I actually had, you always have a little crush at that age. You would, find someone is nice. So for me, seeing him, I would just say, okay, he's really cute. But I didn't think it would have been anything. Like, I didn't vision it to where we are today. So after a while, I actually stopped seeing him. But that was because he left. He used to go to Arima, is North, also known as Compre. And he transferred to QRC, but I didn't know that. So he would have still be seeing me on the bus route. Again, this is where the stalker came in. he would still be seeing me on the bus route, and only when we got together, then I figured this out. What he told me, and he was like, he would see me talking to my friends and stuff. So I like, but you was operating like a stalker because it's unknown to me. And he would tell me, you used to stand up there and you used to stand up so, and he would be watching me when passing on the bus route. And then fast forward to like a few years later, he said months, but this was years. So fast forward to a few years later, when I was 16 and he was 17, Flavie invited me to a badminton tournament, and that was being held in Chaguanas. When we went, I had no intentions of seeing him. He was not nowhere. By that time, I wasn't studying him or anything like that. So when we went there, I saw him and I was like, wait, that's at that point in time, we used to call him Killer because of his last name, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, look, Killer. So I called him out and he just stood around and he was like, hi. So like he was in shock.
Yeah.
Right? So again, I made the first move again because as he said, he was shy. Mm-hmm. So after that day now, we viewed the tournament and I was like, okay, this was so cool. We really think we should start doing it. But at that point in time, I was also playing netball. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if I should join or anything. So my sister ended up joining because we figured out that it had a badminton club in Valencia. So I think it was like the week after we went to sign up. And at the first time I didn't join because as I said, I had netball at the time. So I just used to go with her to like watch practice and stuff. And then eventually I was like, well, this sport's looking fun. Like I feel like I want to join as well. Yeah. So I ended up joining. So I had to like balance the two. But you could say your part.
Yeah, so when the training did now start, and I was like...
Wait, just I don't mean to stop here. But then when you saw that second time, it was like love at first sight twice.
Yes,
you
twice.
Get there.
I did have a third time
Oh
now.
my gosh, all right, so go ahead.
The second time was like when she said she called me Killer, and I turned around. I was shocked. I was like, wait, you remember my name? That was after some years.
The two takes it.
So you remember my name? I said, okay, but I was still acting shy. I was still kind of shy. I wasn't really known to this boyfriend, girlfriend, this stuff. I wasn't known to that. So eventually, I was supposed to go on the court. I was in 3 finals. I lost all 3.
No sure.
Yeah, that was sad, but
you're still the winner.
Yeah, my highlight of the day was she remembered my name and she actually called me. And it made me very happy because nobody really do that. Yeah. So the third time now, when she came with her sister in training, but I didn't know that was coming. She didn't know I was at the club. So I did a warming up thing, and I saw some people walking through the blocks coming. When she opened the door now, I was like, it could never be. The third time. And up to that day, we still did not talk.
Wow.
We still did not talk. It was a few weeks until we started, well, she initiated again. Yeah. She started to talk to me and we started to connect off the bat one time. Like, I didn't meet a person like that before. Yeah, I know a lot of people, but how we used to communicate and talk was so real and genuine. Like, we just, like marshmallow, we melt together so quick. And from that day, I realized, listen, let me put my act together. And from that day, like a 2 weeks, a month, we were still talking. That's when I went to Canada and stuff. And when I came back, she come running towards me, towards the door. Right. I wasn't expecting it, but it made me feel good. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I don't want to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I want to be husband and wife. So from then, I started to think, do my research, pray about it. And then when one thing she said to me that stand out was that because I was in a dark place. I was not at a good place. I was around the wrong people. And when she started to talk to me, she bring light to me. And I was praying, begging for that. And God revealed that to me. And I was like, okay, something had to change. So I decided to change. My friends I lost friends. They didn't want to talk to me because, I'm talking to her a lot, aligning with her, we'll travel together. And I said, okay, friends can go, I'll meet genuine friends. And the first day that we kind of made it official with a be boyfriend, girlfriend, I didn't want nothing else but to be husband and wife. And my goal from ever since was to be husband and wife.
Yeah. Yeah, that is amazing. And for me, it shows that how God was in everything. For you personally, because he put somebody there to help you come out of the dark place you were in, and he gave you a helpmate, somebody you could be comfortable with, somebody who could protect you, take care of you. And so as you're talking about that place, Brandon, and for you, Rachel, as well, what was it like then in for you guys really fully dedicating your lives to God, right? Mm-hmm. What was it like, coming through the teenage years, but and then becoming young adults? What was that like for individuals, your relationship with God, and then together now as and then we will get into the wedding and the marriage and everything, but what is the dynamic like now as your relationship with God?
Me? Okay, so individually first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for me, before I started coming here, you would always grow up in mommy and dad would always have us in church. We used to attend the Valencia Pentecostal church. But even as a child growing up, learning about God and the things of God, I don't mean to make it sound any bad, but I never felt satisfied or the Holy Spirit attending other churches, because we attended Valencia Pentecostal, we attended Faith Assembly, and you just never really felt anything at all. It's as you would say, it was just a religious thing. And I never really learned the truth. So it's about God because you grew up hearing the story and he died for us and stuff like that. But you never truly understand. And at a young age, I always knew that I had a desire to know God more, and I always wanted to live for him. But it's you didn't have the proper foundation. So for me, we stopped church for a good while actually. And then Flavia told us about here. She attended here and she invited us. And the first day I came here, I actually remember as soon as I walked in, I felt a difference. And it's a feeling that I never experienced. It's this is the place I want to settle. This is the place that I want to be and grow in my journey with God. And at that time we were together, and I didn't bring him yet because I was I wanted to figure out, okay, this is my home church, and I wanted to make it my home church before I bring him, because at that point in time we were talking about marriage and stuff like that, but we wasn't pushing for it just yet, but we always knew what we wanted. So when I decided, okay, this is the church that I want to be in, I said, let me bring him. And he also wanted to be a part, because when I tell him I'll go into church, he would be I could come and so on. So I told him, well, I just want to figure out this is the place I want us to grow together. And then I officially invited him when I decided to get baptized and stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and you want me to talk about right now?
We'll get there right now.
Okay.
I want to hear your side and your personal journey since, that first day you came.
Yeah. So for me, well, I was considered a Catholic. Mm-hmm. That is what my parents grew me up into. Mm-hmm. But I realized it wasn't for me. It didn't sit right with me. Things never felt the same. Mm-hmm. So when we first started to go to church together, we went Faith Assembly together, and I started to learn a little bit of new things, the truth, a little bit of truth, not all truth. And I realized from that day, something had to change also, because my parents keep pushing the Catholic stuff, but I know that wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So I know she came here, and I wanted to come really bad, but she said wait, that she was finding her own way with Christ and stuff here first. And I was like, okay, I'll give you a time, Everybody needed a time to... So I asked her one day, I didn't ask her. she came to me and asked me, "You want to come to church?" I was like, "Yes, finally." I was excited and stuff. And since I stepped foot in a compound, I felt it a lift off my shoulders. I felt like this where I had to be. And when I went upstairs, it was in the church and stuff. Apostle was talking, and you guys, how I was welcome here was feeling so home, and I fell in love with the church, with everything, the truth, and how things supposed to be done as a husband and wife, as a couple, not like a husband and wife to be. So from there, I started to do more research, read the Bible, read scriptures, and understand where, as a man, as a husband, for a future husband, where I need to be in order for that to happen. I wasn't a leader. I wouldn't lie, I wasn't a leader. She was the one leading because I didn't know about all these things. I wasn't aware that men supposed to be doing certain stuff. And talking with the apostle, and he teaching me and showing me different stuff, it really opened up my eyes to involve Christ in my life even more. Like every single thing I would do, I involve in Christ. I was asking Lord to heal me and protect me, and throughout the day, everything that I do, I include God in it. And
yeah. So that's great. How individually you guys needed to grow and mature in the things of God before he was fully in a place where it's like, all right, you guys now consecrate your marriage, right? Come together and serve together and live for me together. So let's talk about that. You guys finally made that decision to get married. You've been married now for how long? How long has it been?
9 months.
Right. Yeah. I like how you answered first there. I was waiting for it. 9 months. So what's it been like since that moment? Because there's a difference between being together and then being married. What has that been like?
Being married is, people think it's easy. It's not an easy thing to do. When you're getting married, both shall become one. As Barry said, that 100%. Some people like to say 50-50. It's not 50-50. Both give 100% and things will be a little better. Communication-wise, try to communicate as much as you could. Learn. Marriage is a learning experience. You learn with each other. You learn by reading the Bible, what you're supposed to do. Even give the messages out there to young couples, young people. That's one of our goals, to help the young people, young couples come up and do it the right way. And I find that we wasn't perfect in doing that because, I mean, we young. But when we really sit down and we're like, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we have to do. We have to sit down, read the Bible, talk about it, what we want, dislikes. We know from early that what we wanted and we went after it. We wanted to get married. We could have gotten married anyway. But we chose where we found Christ together.
Yes. Amen.
At home, in the church, in our home here. And the wedding wasn't big, was simple, small, and it felt so powerful and so good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, so for me, as he said, marriage is not something easy and is something that the enemy would always want to attack. So at the beginning, it would seem as though everything going so perfect and, nice, because obviously he just given it time. And when he start to attack marriage, because he don't like it, right? Everyone should know that he doesn't like something called marriage because it's of God. And knowing how to deal with certain things that come is something that you need to actually be in Christ to understand how to deal with it. Because something simple as an argument, people nowadays would be like, they would basically like break up over an argument.
Yeah, very true.
So you have to understand, when you're married, it's a covenant that you make with God, and you basically have to fight for it, because nothing comes easy when you walk in with Christ. Everything is a battle each day. You need to keep your ground and fight for what you work hard for. And obviously, once you understand that God is always going to be there. And no matter what you're going through, you could always rely on him. So, for example, like if we get upset with each other and stuff, a normal human nature, it would be like you want to yell, you want to, react in your flesh. Mm-hmm. But you have to understand that it's not always right to do that, because we both have feelings, we both have emotions, and when emotions get out of control, you just start saying things. So one thing that I would do personally when I'm upset is I would take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to myself, because I don't want to say anything hurtful to him. And I think there's something that we're still working on, because, again, as he said, it's a learning process. So he would always be ready to like talk about something immediately. But because I know how, to me, I would say this is how the enemy works. As soon as he see like you want to disagree on something, he will like keep putting things in your head to escalate it. Yeah. And I'd always try to avoid it and try to deal with it the correct way, because words do hurt and it do stick with you. Yeah. So I would always try to like limit like how you react, because any moment you don't really be thinking, you just be acting off of emotions, and that's not how a marriage should be. So that's something that we always work on. And now I would say, for me, I could talk on from my point of view. For me, I notice a change when I actually decide to like not act off of emotions only, but always remember like you're not fighting against your partner. It's the enemy you're basically fighting. So that's something that I'm still learning, and that's something I would always like hold close to me. I need to know how to react, and I would advise people, don't just act off of emotions. That's not how a relationship should be. And the first thing that comes to mind shouldn't be, okay, I'm breaking up with you, I finished with this, because marriage is something that's supposed to last a lifetime. And with God, it would be successful, having him in the center and working together as a team and not individuals. I think everything will be fine.
Yeah. And I totally agree. And it will be fine. So, ladies and gents, and you guys here who are sitting on this couch, could you just share to the young couples out there and the ones who they feel sure and they're ready in their spirit that it's time to get married, could you just share a word of strength, a word of encouragement, and even advice as to actually taking that step and making that step, and before God?
I would say, first, seek God. Talk to him before you make any decisions. Make sure it's confirmed. And if it's confirmed that is the person for you, you have to know that it's supposed to be a lifetime. You have to have your head on and always know, as she said, that the devil will always come after you. Always have your head up, pray, always cover your wife, cover your marriage, always cover your marriage, because you guys are one. Learn from each other and always have respect for each other. Always show love for each other. The smallest things, it don't have to be much. You don't have to spend a lot of money on anything. Simplest things, show a lot of love. Always find time for each other, always.
Okay, so for me, I would say I would touch on the part where when they're ready to be married. I would say don't rush into things if you know you're not ready to make a lifelong commitment. Because nowadays, you'll see it, people would get married and then a few months later, they'd break up or they'd file for divorce. I would say really think about it and not only lean on your understanding, but lean on his on God understanding. Like he would be there to help you through any decision that you have to make in life. And another thing that I would say is when it comes to communicating, I know everyone would say communication is the key, but to us, we always say you could communicate with somebody and they won't understand anything that you're saying. Yeah. So with communication comes understanding.
There was a communication is one of the top ones you need to have. Communicate with your partner every day before you go and sleep. Ask the partner if anything bothering you. If how was your day, if you're okay, make sure they're good. Because I cannot go and sleep knowing that if something is bothering her, and it's the same for her. She wouldn't go and sleep if something is bothering me, or we always go and sleep knowing that we're on good terms and we're on the right page. Yeah. Never go and sleep knowing that something is wrong or whatever. That is not good at all. And that is the other thing I would say.
That's amazing, 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 amazing. So guys, I would like to thank so much to Rachel and Brandon for coming on today for this wonderful conversation. Thank you guys. Thank you. It was great. And I hope you who are watching this appreciate what they shared, because I know it touched you. I know it reached out to many people out there. So just think about it. You're making a big step in your life. Think about it before you really make that decision, right? Go before God and make that decision. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because we'll be uploading. Don't worry. Just keep looking. Okay, bye-bye.